Good evening and welcome to Isaac News Today, where we are here to answer your questions, celebrate Mother's Day, even though it's a week past, and celebrate finals being finished. Y'all, it is just a good day to be alive. Hello, Texas and everyone else. Hello, Alf. Welcome back to the show. So, you guys, I want to remind you, I have an email address. Are you aware of this? Because I thought I was since I created it. But then it turns out I didn't check it. I set it to automatically tell if something was there, and an email was sent back in March that no one answered. And it was sent to me. So I feel terrible about that. It was a beautifully written email. I'll get it out for you guys. I'm not going to read all of it, but I decided to make it our fun fact as a reminder to myself that you guys can email me at any time about anything. So, just wanted to get to check on that. And this person, they titled themselves Aguillard Anonymous, or Aguillard, I'm not sure, Aguillard. So to anyone who wants to figure out how to pronounce it correctly, please do. I mean, no offense if I'm mispronouncing it. But they sent this beautifully written email talking about how many Americans we've grown concerned. Hang on, let me read this part for you. Like many Americans, I have grown concerned with the emergence of so-called echo chambers on social media, where people who agree with each other politically tend to gather in groups and reinforce each other's beliefs while being insulated from opposing beliefs. This goes on. This is beautifully written. It touched my heart. And they decided to talk to me about Grosso's in the house. What up, Grossos? How we doing? But they talked to me back in March after I did my first Conservative in College segment, where I talked about the words separation of church and state don't appear in the Constitution. And so this sweet person who is on the opposite opinion of mine, or, tends to be more liberal by their own admission, they wanted to clarify and bring up the discussion. So to whoever sent this, thank you. And I'm sorry I didn't respond until now. But I only found the email you sent last night while I decided, I want to go back and double check. And yeah, I completely missed it. So I wasn't ignoring you, and I'm not trying to be an echo chamber. So I'm going to answer your question. However, I'm going to be pretty brief because, like I said, just read it yesterday. So I'm still formulating my response to everything. But so first off, I'll read for you guys what he said. While the literal words separation of church and state don't appear in the Constitution, these words are still generally taken by both the Founding Fathers and jurists today as a good summary of the meaning of the Establishment Clause. The Establishment Clause is part of the First Amendment that you cited on your stream. It reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. I'll skip just a little bit. While the words separation of church and state were never put in the Constitution, the First Amendment was clearly meant to be interpreted this way, according to a letter Thomas Jefferson sent in 1802. And right there, if you guys aren't aware, I've taken several history classes at liberal universities, and one of the most thought-provoking ones to me was, from my hippie professor, and that's not an insult to the professor. She openly told us she was a hippie during the times we were studying in history. But she said there's two ways to view the Constitution, literally and liberally. Literally is if it doesn't say this, you can't do anything about it. And liberally says if the Constitution doesn't talk about it, then it's to be interpreted, and you can interpret the Constitution to mean different things. So Republicans and conservatives tend to view the Constitution literally, as in if it's written, that's what it means, no interpretation. It literally means this, such as the right to bear arms. And liberals tend to view it as in, well, there was nothing in the Constitution about being involved in the economy, so it's our responsibility as the government to regulate it. And both sides, when it has suited them, have changed how they view the Constitution. So I feel that the phrase in your email saying it was clearly meant to be established this way is a dangerous precedent to set, because clearly you say other people believed in it along with him, but that means not all of them agreed with it that way. So it's not clearly meant to, but you can interpret it that way. Just, that's what I have to say for now. I'm going to keep reading and keep researching to back up my claims, but thank you. I appreciate it. So if any of you guys want to email to include the discussion, you can see it right here, isaacnewstoday2020@gmail.com. So with that in mind, let's get into your questions today, Grasshoppers. So welcome to the dojo. And today we got 11 responses, and I am so excited to chat, y'all, because there is so much going on right now. Gosh, okay. So, from Animal, they are saying, in Judges 3:31, Shankar killed 600 men with an ox goad. What the heck is an ox goad? Great question. Excuse me. Let's find out together. Also, you guys, right before the stream, you guys inspired me. It was, well, to eat more spicy food. And so I got a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich, and my gosh, those are spicy. What the heck? Ugh, it's rough. But to answer your question, an ox goad is a wooden tool approximately 8 feet long, fitted with an iron spike or point at one end, which was used to spur oxen as they pulled a plow or cart. It often had an iron scraper at the non-pointed end to clear clods of earth from the plowshare when it became weighed down. So there you go. Thank you for asking your question, Animal. Okay, next up from Sleepy Joe. There are too many states now. Ooh, since the Democrats want to make D.C. a state, I am not sure why. So I think I'll combine 2 states into one. What 2 states would you combine, and what would the name be? Thanks for the advice. Well, I honestly think all the North and South and West and East states, or I think there's only one West state, can be combined and just be that, but you know, you got North Carolina and South Carolina. Just call it Carolina. You got North Dakota and South Dakota. Call it Dakota. You got West Virginia and Virginia. Just call it Virginia. However, these states are all independent, and if they don't want to be combined, you shouldn't combine them. But if I was, and no one was going to fight me on it, I would just combine all the North and South states. Thank you for asking. What states would y'all combine? Because if that grinds your gears, please, let's talk. From Johnny Appleseed, would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef? Would you rather live in a treehouse or a cave? Look forward to your replies. Great questions. Which ones would you guys rather have? Because first off, I would say, I think I would rather have a person. Wait, if the maid can cook, I'll go with the maid. But having a personal chef, do they come with their own ingredients? Because if I have to buy the ingredients that my personal chef is making, you know what? No, maid, because they can do everything. Lorraine says a personal chef, yes, and she would go with a treehouse. What? No, cave all the way. Caves you can wire. Tree houses you have to worry about setting it on fire. Although you could get caved in. That's rough. But you could fall out of the tree too, Lorraine. All right, and Alf says he would want the chef and treehouse. Yeah, of course you agree with your wife. Kimberly says personal chef. Really? Okay, yeah. Because I am not good at eating healthy, so having a personal chef to do that would be great. Okay, from Fiddle Faddle, what was your hardest final? Oh, gosh. I think I would say my history final, because they make it to where you're in a lockdown browser, so you can't Google, you can't do anything. I mean, you either know it or you don't, and there's like no way to back it up. You can't go back and look at the professor's lectures to double check your answers. You can't look at his PowerPoints, which he didn't give any anyway. But it was just set up to be difficult for the sake of being difficult, not really for the sake of learning. So that's what I would say. And to all of my other college students out there, what is your hardest final, and are you finished? From Fiddle Faddle 2, why do you live in Texas? 'Cause it's a darn tootinest, rootinest state. Yeah, it's great. Great question. Fiddle Faddle 4. No, I didn't leave out 3. I was going to ask. What is your favorite thing about each place you have lived? darn. I mean, Montana, because it makes you realize how small you are, since you can see as far as the eye can see, no interruptions. Missouri for all the friends, family, and outing experiences we had. Like, Missouri is where we went canoeing, where we went swimming, where we went fishing in like minus 30-degree weather, sledding into drainage pipes, which really isn't safe, but those were the best hills. Germany, all of it. That was brilliant. Georgia, getting to work at Chick-fil-A, that was awesome. And Texas, I'll have to get back to you on that because I'm still living here. So, where I have lived, but yeah. Oh gosh, I missed some. Okay. Alf says watch Treehouse Masters. And Victoria, you said a maid that can cook in tree houses. Yes, I like that. And Kimberly, you like treehouse for sure. I'm claustrophobic. That would be a problem, but I was picturing like a cave with a small entrance that's just massive on the inside. And hey, now that didn't sound very sincere, Bella. Texas is the best. I have no doubt that Texas is the best. Okay, I'm working on appreciating Texas more because I come from where it's cold. You guys should know this. So when I come from somewhere that's cold and windy to somewhere that's hot and windy and dusty, it's very difficult for me to get used to. I have gotten used to it, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Number 7, from a mom. What did you do for your mom on Mother's Day? Thanks for sharing about Mother's Day last week. My pleasure, a mom. Well, I woke up and I made mom breakfast, which sounds impressive, but really I just woke up, snuck down the stairs, and like, what's the quietest thing I can make? Because she always wakes up before me, and I noticed she was still in bed and she hadn't gotten out yet, so I needed something fast and quiet. So I just went down, chopped up a banana, and then I brought it to her room, and then I got a glass of ice water for her. So I tried to make it special, and then I think we took a walk, and we were going to watch a movie, but we had a very early morning on Monday, so I made it as special as I could. What did y'all do for Mother's Day? Because there was a lot. Oh, I also wrote a card, and it was wonderful. Guys, also, make sure when you write a card for your mom, you put 3 words in it. I love you. Because I say I love you to my mom every day. So in this card, I thought this is the act of love. I'm like, you're a great mother, and now you're a great grandmother. So I'm just so proud to call you my mom, and I'm honored to be your son. And then she says, well, this is wonderful, but you didn't write I love you in it. I'm like, no! So, yes, since I know she can hear me, Mom, I love you. Hang on, no, I know you're not a great grandmother. You are a grandmother who is great, to anyone who's curious. Okay. All right, quick break for our philosophy phrase of the day. Today it comes from Epicurus, who said, you don't develop courage by being happy in your relationships every day. You develop it by surviving difficult times and challenging adversity. And I love it. And it's so true, because when you forget to write little words like I love you, you gotta have challenging. No. Anyway, no, it was great. But yeah, in our relationships, whether it be business, professional, romantic, whatever, we have to be willing to suffer together, whatever it is. So to all my friends and family, you guys know what it's like to be with me, be around me. So thank you for sticking through me with me with that. Great quote. Thank you, Charlene. I agree. It was one of my favorite quotes, and Epicurus had a lot more, but this one stuck out the most. So thank you, guys. And we'll get right back to it. From Curious Superman, who is your favorite superhero and why? Get it? Super. Hint, hint, hint. Oh, Batman. No. Yeah, it's obviously Batman. No. Carnage. Carnage is my favorite superhero. And I'm getting looks from my audience member. So obviously I like Superman the most because he's invincible. So yeah, Superman is my favorite. because I know that's what everyone wants me to say, and it just so happens to be true. Okay, thank you for the question. Alf, he's evil. Who's evil? Superman? Or do you mean Carnage? Because Carnage... No, he's evil. He's totally evil. All right. From Worrywart. Sometimes my friends tease me and I pretend that it doesn't bother me, but it does and I feel bad. How much do you worry about what other people think about you? Thanks. Great question, Worrywart. Thank you. I think deep down we all worry about what people think of us, but some people are able to turn it off and then not care. I try to be one of these people, but I fail quite often. So how much do you worry about what other people think about you? Depends how much I'm reading my Bible, and depends how much I actually believe in what I'm doing. Because if you believe in what you're doing and what you say, you have no reason to care or worry about what other people think, unless you're trying to gather people around you to support you. But yeah, that's really more than I should. That would be the best question. How much do you worry? More than I should. From Dora, what is your dream place to travel that you have not been? Tokyo, Japan. I would so love to see Japan, because an island nation, smaller than Montana, with its output and everything, manages to keep up with other nations that have much more land and much more places. So I can only imagine what Japan could do with more space. And I really want to see what it is, because they have a lot of good culture. They have Nintendo, samurai. I mean, there's really nothing about Japan I don't like. So I would want to go there. If I couldn't go there, Israel. Alf said he'd like to go to Alaska. You want your dream place is Alaska? It's a good place. So, okay. Good. Congratulations. I hope you can do it. Yours is pretty plausible, too. In fact, Alf, I'll go with you to Alaska so then I can hitch your boat to Tokyo, because they're pretty close. Okay. And our last word of the evening from Tutu. Very clever. I like the pun already. If you could instantly learn 3 languages other than those you already speak, which would you prefer and why? Great question. And I want to ask all of you guys this, because does partially knowing it get it out of the ring? Because I technically speak a little German, and I can say hola. But I would really like to learn German, Japanese, and Spanish. Or, ooh, gosh. No, I can get by with my German right now. So I think I'll go with Russian or Italian. No, yeah. Russian, Spanish, and Japanese. That's what I'd go with. What about you guys? What languages would you want to learn? But while you guys get that ready, I'm going to dish out some... Dante just says no. Okay, I'm going to get to my conservative in college segment for you guys, and I'm going to tell you about one of my finals. So today, if you guys weren't aware, I already have officially completed another semester of college. I just took my last final this morning, and it was a performance in my acting fundamentals class. Our assignment was to memorize 2 pieces. We either had to memorize 2 monologues, or 1 monologue and 1 scene with a scene partner. And so after everyone went and performed one of them, the professor stopped us and said, quote, "I know I said memorize 2, but I never planned to have you perform both today." And upon hearing this, I started to stew. But as I sat there, brewing and getting angry, my professor continued, saying, if you are upset or angry at this news that you weren't ever going to do both, then I question if you like acting. Because memorizing things and only using some of them is exactly what an actor does. In auditions, you have to prepare 2 pieces of music, monologues, etc. And you may not perform both. But that's your job, to be prepared. And if you enjoy acting, then you would enjoy getting to memorize and become multiple people. And his words were profound. They resonated with me. So to anyone who is considering being an actor who watch this show, or who don't watch this show, if you just watch this segment somehow, do you truly want to be an actor? Or do you just want to be famous? And I hope my story helps with your decision. And to everyone who has been saying congratulations, thank you. Kimberly said she'd like to learn Spanish, French, and Portuguese. And Alfred said he'd like to learn Mandarin so then he could speak to oranges. And Lorene said she would learn Danish, Spanish, and German. Great choices. So, guys, that's it. We answered all the questions, and I'm going to end with my closing thoughts. So that way you guys can enjoy your evening. And I do want to give a quick shout out. It is my sister-in-law's birthday. So happy birthday to you, sis. Very glad you're a part of the family. You're a great mom and a great wife. And I can't wait to one day be there so we can all celebrate in person. But for my closing thoughts today, I ask you, my audience, are you living in an echo chamber? Do you surround yourself only with views that support or echo your beliefs? It is important to surround yourself with like-minded people. However, if you're incapable of seeing the other side's views, or you're intolerant, that you won't even hear their ideas, all that does is create more polarization. It furthers the problem. Lack of communication is the same problem. Well, it's the source of all problems. And so if you see INT becoming an echo chamber, call me out on it. I need that. I want this place to become a middle ground, the level playing field, where people from all walks of life can converse and attempt to understand one another. No, attempt. Some people just will refuse. However, I also want this place to be somewhere where you can see me eat spicy food, play games, discuss the weather, and more. So much more, especially now that finals are over. I have several things in the works. So I want to thank you all for sticking with me, as this is actually our 22nd stream. Please like and share. And as always, I'll see you same time, same place next week. God bless, grasshoppers.